Welcome to my channel Unusual Pora, where I will be making videos of video games, card games, and pretty much anything that caught my fancy over the last 3 decades. My first video will cover the Master of Orion, Conquer the Stars PC game. I will attempt to give a breakdown of all the races featured in this game. A small backstory as to what the game is all about. Master of Orion, Conquer the Stars, also called simply Master of Orion, is a science fiction turn-based strategy 4X game. It is the 4th game in the Master of Orion series and a reboot of the series, developed by Argentina-based Nimble Giant Entertainment and published by Wargaming. The game was released on Steam Early Access on February 26, 2016, with a full release planned on Microsoft Windows, OS X, and Linux later in 2016. In Master of Orion, Conquer the Stars, the player leads one of 11 playable races to galactic supremacy through the exploration and colonization of star systems while utilizing diplomacy, conquest, and technological developments. The first race I will be touching upon will be the Alkari Society. The Alkari desire to be the greatest warriors in the galaxy, bringing pride and honor to their family. The Alkari refer to themselves as one family under the guidance of gods, referring to the pantheon of gods that Alkari Society worships. The pantheon is led by the patriarchal god of sky, Skriake, often referred to as the father of Alkari. The gods resemble the various breeds of Alkari and watch over specific realms of Alkari life. Their homeworld, Altair, is rich in artifacts due to the ancient and well-documented history of the Alkari. However, long before the Alkari were the dominant race on their planet, Altair was a thriving Orion outpost. This contributes to the artifact world status that the Alkari benefit from, but also shows the guiding hand that pushed the Alkari from their earliest evolutionary development. The early centuries of Alkari civilization were dominated by vicious internal warfare between the great families of Altair. The years of warfare finally ended when the first Skylord united the families of all breeds to create the united Alkari government. The Alkari thrived under his generous dictatorship, witnessing revolutionary boosts in production, technology, and cultural achievements. The Alkari are now a dictatorship-style government called the Flock, which is still ruled over by a highly respected Skylord. The Alkari are a proud race which do not look upon offense with mercy. They are militaristic and noble, but often come to war with other races based on what some would see as minor infractions. Even as an increasing amount of intergalactic conflicts stretch Alkari resources and troops thin, their warrior ways mean that they refuse to back down from a fight. Alkari relations. The avian Alkari, longtime fan favorites and Master of Orion icons, are a militaristic race that will be a good fit for players who plan to battle it out for victory. Courageous and honorable to a fault, the Alkari never see themselves as the villains and always find a way to justify their actions. They fly high on the winds of destiny, confident to the point of arrogance that their lofty stratagems will not fail them in the trying times ahead. Planet Altair. The Alkari homeworld of Altair is beautiful and rugged, ancient in its knowledge long before the Alkari even took their first flight. Altair boasts an artifact world status due to the presence of Orions on the planet in a time so distant that only scraps and shreds of their civilization can be found in the dust. However, the Alkari are not inclined to keep their beaks in the dirt. They would rather soar in the mild and pleasant skies of Altair, blissfully free of frequent storms or weather patterns that would hinder their flight. The capital city of Skra is a revered city built upon a high, rocky plateau surrounded by water. It can only be accessed via flight and is a majestic sight when it comes into view on the golden horizon. The Skylord, his family, the powerful council, and the head of the Alkari faith are all based in the city by the sea. The buildings are high and spaciously placed, allowing short soaring leaps from building to serve as the primary mode of transportation in the city. Wherever the Alkari soar, Altair will always be where the people return to roost. Altair is rich with the history of the Alkari and the universe itself. A heady mixture of ritual and nostalgia keep the planet close to the hearts of the citizens. They revere their gods and place their trust in the steadfast hands of the Skylord, who promises to lead them to dominance and salvation. Alkari Espionage. The very acts of espionage force Alkari agents to bend the definition of honorable conduct. While all must hold themselves to the highest standards, there is a sense that they justify their actions as wartime necessities. These special operatives are often gifted in some sense, but found themselves unable to assimilate into the greater fold of the Alkari military. These are the bright and troubled outcasts, doing what they deem necessary for the success of the flock. Alkari spies excel at daring, high-risk missions. They have been known to utilize their natural flight abilities and advanced weapons training to assist in hostage rescues, target extractions, and asset procurement missions. One section of spies, specializing in diplomatic espionage, are known as the Mockingbirds for the songs they sing from distant empires all the way back to the Skylord. Alkari ships. While nearly all Alkari ships follow similar designs, like rounded shapes and beak-like fronts are avian in motif, and excessively elaborate aesthetic decorating the hulls. However, behind the aesthetic appearance of the vessels, Alkari ships are some of the fastest and most agile ships in the galaxy. Due to their avian ancestry, the Alkari have been blessed with excellent reflexes, almost instinctive grasp of the dynamics of three-dimensional motion and desire for speed. From an early age, Alkari learned to master the subtleties of flight, and the desire to soar higher and faster than those who came before them has pushed Alkari technological development to create ships built for high speed and agility. To say that some Alkari are adrenaline junkies is an understatement. They are also the best fighter pilots in the entire galaxy. Alkari interceptor pilots are said to be able to dash and weave through the battle like a graceful dancer, dodging enemy fire and taking down enemy fighters and delivering crippling blows to capital ships in the blink of an eye. To see an Alkari fly in a high-speed interceptor fighter is truly a sight to behold. Now we will discuss the different types of Alkari vessels. 1. The Alkari frigate. These small ships are nevertheless dignified and powerful agents of the Alkari Navy. Their rounded shapes and beak-like fronts are avian in motif, taking inspiration from the Alkari's innate flight ability. The frigates are small, but in the hands of the right pilot they can become a potent force. 2. The Alkari destroyer. The destroyer of the Alkari fleet introduces an aesthetic theme common to all alpha model Alkari ships of this and larger classes, the distinct two-pronged nose. These commonly seen ships are known as the gold standard of military aviation, both for their exceptional quality and their golden metallic sheen. The Bravo model ships are rounded and have a unique halo silhouette. 3. The Alkari cruiser. The Alkari cruiser is a sleek and modern reincarnation of the early ships that won glory in the Alkari's domestic wars of the distant past. Beautiful ships, their hulls carry the same signature rounded wing appearance present on all alpha model Alkari ships. The Bravo models are boldly distinctive, with rounded segments and a twilight color scheme. 4. The Alkari battleship. The Alkari battleship is the workhorse of the fleet, but even though it is expected to give and receive heavy blows in battle, its design retains the trademark Alkari grace and elegance. With greatly improved engines and armament compared to those of her smaller counterparts, the battleship cloaks its deadliness in beauty. The Bravo model ships have a stunning design which calls to mind the rising dawn. 5. The Alkari Titan. The Titan is a deadly force, golden in its magnificence and peerless when helmed by the exemplary Alkari pilots. The alpha models are rounded and layered, bringing to mind gently overlapped wings. The Titan-class Alkari ships are angelic in inspiration and devilish in their might. 6. The Alkari Doomstar. The crown jewel of the Alkari fleet, the Doomstar is often the last thing that an enemy sees. Brightly illuminated from within, it often harkens the dawn of Alkari rule. And so concludes the breakdown of the Alkari race for Master of Orion, Conquer the Stars PC game. I hope you enjoyed this video. If I may be so bold, may I request that you, dear listener, to click the like button and possibly share the video so the brilliance of this game can be spread far and wide. In my next video I will cover the Bulrathi, a ferocious warrior race committed to the preservation of nature. Until next time, Unusual Pora signing off.